Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. For those of you just tuning in, and that includes myself, my name is Marlon. This is episode 60 of Mushroom City in Minecraft. I deeply apologize for the technical difficulties, folks. Just when I was about to start streaming, it turns out that Streamlabs had crashed. And then I had to report it, but that did not happen because it took too long. So I'm like, okay, I might as well just forget about the whole crash thing and see where it goes. So, if for some reason the stream comes to an abrupt end right in the middle, hold on a minute. All right, so sorry about that, folks. Turns out that is just too much going on right now. So let's just get this over with right now. So how you guys doing? Welcome to the stream. Hope you guys having a good day, or hoping that you guys have better days ahead. We're gonna extend the stream for about 5 more minutes, and we'll try to make this quick as possible. So the first hour it'll be the national weather discussion, and then after that we continue with Minecraft, and then we do the weather topic of the day. But I'm not going to go behind the green screen for the weather topic of the day. I'll just take care of that through narrations, but I will talk about the tropics behind the green screen. So let's just get this over with. So we got 7 severe thunderstorm warnings in Oklahoma, Texas, Missouri, Kansas, and Canada. We have 8 flash flood warnings in North Carolina, Oklahoma, and Kansas. 3 special marine warnings in Michigan, Mississippi, and Louisiana. Special weather statements in Oklahoma, Texas, Michigan, Mississippi, Colorado, 37 special weather statements. Well, no, not really. 16 extreme heat warnings, 21 air quality alerts, 33 flood warnings, and 2 red flag warnings. Hold on a minute, folks. Again. Alright, I'm back. Yeah, okay, so we got areas of high pressure located offshore from the east coast, particularly offshore from the mid-Atlantic all the way to southern New England, where there are some dry conditions throughout much of the northeast by far. And of course, there is an area of low pressure, but that is for another place. Although there are air quality alerts throughout the northeast, particularly in the New York City area, Long Island, northern New Jersey, Hudson Valley, Connecticut, much of Massachusetts, and southeastern New Hampshire on the coastal side. There are a few pop-up showers and storms, mostly in northern New Hampshire and western Maine. Then we go down south, where there are some pop-up showers and thunderstorms throughout the southern and western parts of Virginia and the eastern part of West Virginia, especially going into the Virginia Beach area. And as we move towards the south, so you can see there are plenty of thunderstorms, plenty of wet weather activity all across the southeast from Miami or Key West all the way to Virginia Beach. So you can see, let's start off in the Carolinas. In North Carolina, there are flash flood warnings from Goldsboro all the way to Henderson, Apex, south of Durham, and just west of Rocky Mount. A flood warning has been issued, just located between Moncks Corner and Georgetown, South Carolina. Throughout South Carolina, from Columbia all the way to Florence and Myrtle Beach, Greenwood, Greenville, plenty of moderate rain along with thunderstorms. Fayetteville, Charlotte, Lumberton, Greensboro, Greenville, the Outer Banks, just a few clouds and showers there. Georgia, plenty of pop-up thunderstorms, but they're mostly widespread all across the Peach State, except for the coastal part of Georgia. And there's a flood warning that's in effect just northwest of Statesboro. Then we go to Florida, where there are some thunderstorms, daytime ones, occurring throughout much of the Sunshine State, Panhandle, Peninsula. Then we go to Alabama, Mississippi. As you can see, there are pop-up thunderstorms. They are slowly moving to the west, affecting places from eastern Alabama all the way to Mobile, and yet they're moving to the west. Mississippi, mostly dry, though on the southern side of the state. There's a special weather statement and a special marine warning there. And as we go to Louisiana, on the west side, plenty of thunderstorms. Arkansas, a few pop-up thunderstorms in some places in Arkansas and Tennessee. Mostly dry, though a few pop-up showers and some storms are slowly moving in towards Tennessee, but slowly fading in some places. Then we go to Texas. As you can see, we do have air quality alerts throughout the metroplex of Dallas-Fort Worth. And we have a special weather statement located just near Big Lake, Texas, just southwest of San Angelo. Dry lines. There's even an area of high pressure at the surface near Dallas, near Memphis, but what's that going to do? Not much. It's only just there, folks. Though there are 2 severe thunderstorm warnings near the Oklahoma City area near Norman. Flash flood warnings are in effect in the northeast part of Oklahoma. Plenty of special weather statements. Widespread, spreading from the northeast corner of the state, from Joplin, Missouri, all the way to Oklahoma City. There's a stationary front, so you can see, folks, that's going through both panhandles of Texas and Oklahoma, and even stretching as far as New Mexico, then transitioning to a cold front right through western New Mexico and then through central Arizona. Talk about more in a few moments. Let's talk about this Mississippi, the Ohio valleys. You can see just a few clouds and showers and pop-up storms. Places like Kentucky, all the way to Indiana and northwestern Ohio, affecting places like Toledo. In Illinois, there are just a few clouds and showers passing through the Mississippi and into Illinois. Still persistent, yet moving to the northwest, affecting places like Chicago, but slowly dissipating for the most part. A few special weather statements near Detroit and just northeast of the city. And there's special marine warnings right through the waterway, right between Lake Huron and Lake Erie. It's going to be choppy waters. There are choppy waters just outside of Detroit as a result of some storms in linear forms, you can see. And right now there's still a few storms located in northeastern Michigan, especially near Flint. In the upper peninsula of Michigan, still some thunderstorms moving slowly to the east, affecting places like Sault Ste. Marie. We have a cold front that's moving in through the Great Lakes region. That includes Wisconsin, then becomes a stationary front as it crosses the Mississippi, then through Iowa, the Missouri River, then into Nebraska, interacts with a surface low pressure center, then swings into Kansas, and then into the panhandles of Oklahoma and Texas. As I said earlier, there is an area of a surface high pressure center located just in the southern part of Minnesota. There are air quality alerts throughout much of Wisconsin, southeastern Minnesota, all because of the smoke. I mean, as you can tell, folks. I mean, you're not seeing much, folks, at this moment. Yep, wildfire smoke as a result. There are flood warnings still in effect throughout the flood-ravaged areas of Milwaukee and the surrounding areas as a result of some floods that had happened. From what we've discussed, even though we have not really, but we've only managed to get an understanding that on the ground there have been major flood prone areas that have been affected, and that include. There's more flood warnings located north of Davenport. More flood warnings still in effect throughout southwestern Minnesota, eastern South Dakota, Fargo, with a special weather statement there because of a cold front that's swinging by from Montana all the way to the Dakotas and up north towards Manitoba. Don't mind the severe thunderstorm warning, folks. That is Canada's problem. Though in the Dakotas, plenty of thunderstorms still in effect because of the cold front and affecting northwestern Minnesota. Then we go down south towards Iowa, Missouri, Kentucky, Kansas, and Nebraska, where, of course, I did mention the stationary front that's present there. And there are more thunderstorms still in effect throughout Nebraska. On the east side, central side, especially much of Iowa, with a few showers and clouds, maybe a few storms there, affecting places like Des Moines, Waterloo, Mason City. And there are also some thunderstorms in places like Joplin, all the way to Kansas City, and then on the northern part of Missouri. Then we go to Kansas. We do have plenty of flood warnings still in effect throughout Hutchinson and McPherson, Kansas, and as well as west of Pittsburgh, with flash flood warnings in effect, plus Miami, Oklahoma. Then we go to the northern Rockies. You can see just a few pop-up showers in effect throughout the eastern half of Montana, yet swinging counterclockwise, moving to the east, and especially throughout the northern part of Wyoming, though it's not widespread, though, and that's the same story for eastern Montana. But in Idaho, it's all clear. Then we go to the Colorado Rockies. We do have a few showers and storms that have been popping up on the east side, just east of the Rockies, moving towards the southeast. West side, all clear, especially Utah and Nevada. Though in Nevada, there are extreme heat warnings in effect, mostly in Clark County, and that includes Las Vegas, Boulder City. And we do have some pop-up thunderstorms throughout parts of New Mexico, especially on the southwest corner of the state, moving towards the east right now, or rather to the southeast, folks. Now we go to Arizona. There are extreme heat warnings in the Grand Canyon, the Phoenix area, and especially on the western part of Arizona, particularly in the Colorado River Valley. The banks of the Colorado River Valley. Colorado River, I mean. Plenty of storms still going on throughout Arizona, moving to the southeast, still affecting eastern Arizona. Then we go to California. Hold on a minute. All right, now in California, we do have extreme heat warnings throughout the southeast part of the state, but just located outside of LA and San Diego and Orange County. Showers and storms are offshore, and we do have extreme heat warnings still in effect throughout northwestern California. Elsewhere throughout the state, not much is going on. Then we go to the Pacific Northwest, still extreme heat warnings, and there are red flag warnings in the south and southwestern part of Oregon. Weather's been dry lately, yet in the north central part of Oregon and south central part of Washington State, it's going to get hot, especially in Yakima and Bend, Oregon. Now let's focus on more details about the weather, though we will try to keep it minimized as possible, given that we do have a lot to talk about with the tropics. Now let's talk about the Northeast. So what do we got? So most of the region is dealing with some northerly winds, so moving up to 20 miles an hour throughout many places, and do have some places that do have some sea breeze, but still not strong enough, just up to 25 miles per hour if there are stronger winds. But in northern New England, winds are shifting to the east, blowing up to 20 miles an hour. Throughout New England, you have temperatures that are in the mid-80s all the way to the mid-90s. It's going to get hot, folks, for those in the Northeast. In New York, upstate New York, temperatures are in the 80s. Greater New York City area, temperatures are in the 80s to low 90s. In Pennsylvania, temperatures are in the 80s. The Mid-Atlantic, Delaware, Maryland, D.C., and Virginia, temperatures are in the mid-70s to mid-upper 80s. West Virginia, temperatures are in the 80s. Then we go down to the southeast. Winds, for the most part, they're coming from the Atlantic side, moving generally to the west, blowing up to 20 miles an hour. But a little light in the Outer Banks of North Carolina, but down along the coast all the way to Florida, just up to 25 miles an hour at the maximum for the beaches along the Carolinas and Georgia. And those winds are widespread, stretching from North Carolina all the way to Mississippi. But in Arkansas, winds are shifting to the northwest. Louisiana, just about moving to the west for the most part. Temperatures throughout the Carolinas, they are in the mid-70s to low 80s. Georgia, Georgia, mid-70s to mid-80s. Tennessee, temperatures are in the upper 80s to mid-90s. Alabama, Mississippi, temperatures are in the low 80s to mid-90s. Arkansas, temperatures are in the upper 80s to mid-90s. Louisiana, temperatures are in the mid-80s to mid-90s. Going down to Florida, where winds are coming from the east in South Florida, shifting to the northwest. Then moving to the northwest, becoming a little light though, but on the beaches in Big Bend area and in the northeastern part of Florida, winds are moving up to 25 miles per hour at the beaches. A little light though in southwest Florida. Temperatures all across the Sunshine State, they are in the upper 70s to upper 80s. Then we go to Texas and Oklahoma. Seeing winds shifting from the east to the north at up to 20 miles an hour, but a little stronger in the west side of Texas, where winds are in the western part of the state in Texas. They're moving to the west at up to 25 miles an hour. Panhandle near Lubbock, they are moving up to 25 miles an hour. Oklahoma, winds are becoming light and variable throughout the Panhandle of Oklahoma, but on the east side and south side, winds are moving to the northeast at up to 20 miles an hour. Temperatures in Oklahoma, they are in the upper 70s to mid-80s. Mid-90s, I mean. Western Texas, temperatures are in the mid-80s to upper 90s. Going down to South Texas, temperatures are in the mid-80s to mid-low hundreds. Eastern and Northeast Texas, temperatures are in the upper 80s to mid-90s. Let me see the chat real quick. Whew, folks. Temperatures, winds are light and variable along the Ohio River Valley, but Kentucky, winds move to the west up to 10 miles an hour. northern parts of Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois. Winds are moving to the northeast at up to 20 miles an hour. But on the south side of Illinois, winds are moving to the north. Temperatures in Kentucky, they're in the 80s to low 90s. Ohio, 80s. Indiana, upper 80s to low 90s. Illinois, temperatures are in the 80s. Wisconsin and Michigan, winds are coming from the west, shifting to the northeast at up to 20 miles an hour, but a little heavier. Hold on a minute. Alright, I'm back. Winds are a little stronger in some parts of the lower peninsula of Michigan, blowing up to 25 miles an hour. Just light and variable winds in the central part of Upper Peninsula, Michigan. Temperatures throughout the lower part of Michigan, they are in the 80s. Upper Peninsula, temperatures are in the 70s to low 80s. Wisconsin, temperatures are in the mid 70s to mid 80s. Throughout the Dakotas and Minnesota, winds are generally coming from the northwest, shifting to the northeast at up to 25 miles an hour, maybe a little higher in a few places in the Dakotas, particularly, like North Dakota. Hold on a minute, folks. Alright, I'm back. So, what do we got? So, temperatures throughout Minnesota, they are in the mid 70s to low 80s. The Dakotas, temperatures range from the low 70s to upper 80s. Going down to along the Missouri River Valley, throughout the 4 states area of Iowa, Missouri, Nebraska, and Kansas. Winds are mostly light and variable for the most part, yet it's more of a convincing argument that some of the winds are moving counterclockwise, and the center is located in northeastern Kansas and southeastern Nebraska. But the maximum sustained winds are up to 20 miles an hour, particularly in southwestern Missouri and eastern Kansas. Temperatures in Iowa, they are in the mid 70s to mid 80s. Missouri, mid 70s to upper 80s. Kansas, upper 70s to mid 80s. Well, mid 70s to mid 80s. Nebraska, temperatures are in the mid 70s to mid 80s as well. In the northern Rockies, you can see winds are very light, but generally they're coming from the west. But once you get to Montana, on the eastern side, especially in the eastern side of Wyoming, winds are shifting to the southeast at up to 30 miles an hour. Whew. Temperatures all across Montana, they are in the mid 70s to mid 80s. Idaho, for the most part, on the north side, temperatures are in the 70s to mid 80s. South side, temperatures are in the upper 80s to low 90s. In Wyoming, my God. In Wyoming, temperatures are in the mid 70s to low 80s. Whew. In Colorado, winds are generally coming from the north, and yet some of the winds are blowing light and variable throughout the eastern side, southeast side, I mean. But strongest winds are up to 20 to 25 miles an hour. Utah, winds are generally blowing to the south, but some places blowing up to 25 miles an hour, others just a little light and variable. In Nevada, winds are light and variable for the most part, but generally they look like they may be moving to the south at up to 20 miles an hour. In Colorado, temperatures, they are in the mid 70s to upper 80s. Utah, temperatures range from 82 in Logan to 106 in St. George. Nevada, temperatures are in the mid 80s to mid 100s. In the desert southwest, in New Mexico on the east side, winds are coming from the southeast, shifting to the north at up to 25 miles an hour, but in the northeast corner, just becoming light and variable. West side, winds are coming from the west, northwest, moving up to 25 miles an hour. Arizona winds are generally okay. On the south side, winds are coming from the Gulf, moving to the east at up to 25 miles an hour. On the north side, winds are coming from the west, shifting to the west, east, southeast at up to 25 miles an hour. New Mexico, temperatures are in the upper 80s to upper 90s. In the northern part of Arizona, temperatures range from 80 in Alpine to 100 in Kingman. Temperatures are in the triple digits in the southern Arizona. Let me get a quick sip, folks. Okay. So what do we have? See, offshore from Southern California, winds are moving up to 40 miles an hour, but once winds move onshore, it's a little light and variable. Just north of the San Francisco Bay Area, but at the San Francisco Bay Area all the way down to San Diego, winds they're moving offshore, blowing up to 20 to 25 miles per hour in some places. In Central Valley, California, winds are moving to the east, moving to the Sierra Nevadas, especially winds outside of LA and San Diego moving to the east, but light and variable winds are occurring in Death Valley and parts of the Mojave Desert. Temperatures, let's see what we got. So 61 in Eureka, 73 in San Diego. Temperatures will be at 89 in LA. Temperatures throughout the San Francisco Bay Area, they are in the upper 70s to mid 80s. Throughout the Indio, it's 109, but in places like Bakersfield and Fresno, temperatures are at 104, plus Redding, Chico at 100, 95 in Sacramento. Then we got the Pacific Northwest, where winds are generally moving to the east, but a little light and variable on the east side of Oregon. And in Washington State, winds are coming from the north, blowing up to 25 miles an hour. Maybe a little heavier, particularly on the northwestern tip of the Olympic National Park area. But then winds are shifting to the east on the leeward side of the Cascades. Elsewhere, it's becoming light and variable, though. Temperatures in Oregon, they are in the upper 80s to mid 90s. Washington State, temperatures are in the upper 70s to upper 80s. Check where's the gusts. Up to 30 miles an hour in gusts throughout the southeast. Up to 30, 35 to 40 miles an hour in some places in the lower part of Michigan. Especially in the Dakotas, northern Minnesota, eastern Montana, all the way down to Wyoming, and even parts of the desert southwest, up to 40 miles an hour in gusts. Especially on the west side of Texas. And Sierra Nevadas, just up to 30 miles an hour. And the Cascades too. Let's talk about humidity. Where's the humidity? Well, it's very humid in the southeast, particularly from the Panhandle of Florida all the way to the Outer Banks, and plenty of humidities in Kansas City, Omaha, Des Moines, and in northern North Dakota. Starting to get really dry in parts of the Northeast. Rainfall accumulations, you can see. Start with the south, just up to an inch or two in the southeast, lower Mississippi Valley, panhandles of Texas and Oklahoma, going up to Iowa and all the way to outside of Chicago. Just up to 2 to 3 inches of rain in some places in northern Minnesota. Now let's talk about upper level winds. So what do we got? And we'll mention about the tropics as we go along with this. Okay, so let me take a quick sip, folks. Whew. Okay, let's assume. Wait, just need to take myself a few breaths. Okay, let's assume that this is right now, right? So what do we got? So we got a trough that's located north of the Dakotas, a ridge located over the west coast, and a big ridge over northern New England and the Canadian Maritimes. Translation: there's storms occurring throughout places like the Great Lakes region, all the way to the southern plains, plus the northern plains, upper Mississippi Valley, and even some parts of the southeast. They're getting some pop-up storms right now. Now, what about for tomorrow night? 24 hours from now, there's going to be a ridge. It's going to occur throughout the Mid-Atlantic, a trough located in the Great Lakes region, north of the Great Lakes region, and especially in the Great Plains region, and even one a little bit over the Columbia River Valley, especially one over the Rockies. Translation: there's going to be some storms that will occur in places like the Great Lakes all the way down to Oklahoma, throughout the Ohio Valley, especially in the northern Rockies and the Bitterroot Mountains. Wednesday night, there's going to be a trough that's going to occur throughout the Hudson Bay, which is just north of the Great Lakes. A ridge located over the Wyoming Rockies, and the weak trough located over just north of the Pacific Northwest in Canada, British Columbia. Translation: some storms will occur throughout the Pacific Northwest all the way to the northern Rockies, and as well as parts of the Great Lakes region all the way to the interior part of the Northeast. Maybe some in parts of the Ohio Valley all the way to the Mid-Atlantic. Okay, now what about Thursday night? A ridge will occur throughout the Great Plains, and a tiny bit over the Ohio Valley. A trough will occur throughout the West Coast, and a weak trough just west of Chicago. Translation: some storms will occur throughout the Great Basin, the Northern Rockies, a little bit in parts of the Ohio Valley, and especially in the upper Mississippi Valley and the Dakotas, and even a little bit in parts of the Gulf Coast, though, because of this upper level high. Now let's move on to the tropics. Before we get to that, well, I just want to do a little comparison just so that I can keep things in my head, just so that I can go behind the green screen and show you guys what we got, and try to compare and contrast the European model and the American models, the GFS and the European one. Let's go to the tropics. Okay, so let's start off with right now. Okay, so from what I can tell is that there's going to be a system. Okay, so there's going to be Erin right here. There's Erin right here, and just a few disturbances that will occur over time, but none of them has a greater chance of development within the next 7 days. But although it's something interesting that's going to occur throughout the Eastern Gulf, but I just don't see that happening. this moment, so I don't know why it's there. So just kill it already, you know? Alright, so let's focus on Erin. It's located right around here where I'm pointing. 17.8 degrees north and 31.02 degrees west. But that's not accurate. We'll check on that just momentarily. So let's advance to 24 hours from now. Using the GFS model, so it's going to move. That's by tomorrow night. Wednesday night. It'll keep on moving. Hold on a minute. Alright. So by Thursday night, it's going to keep on moving. Just a little, there's a little development behind it, but it's not going to be much. It's going to get stronger though as time rolls around, as it approaches the Lesser Antilles, the Windward Islands in the Caribbean. Then Friday night, it'll get really stronger. It's become well defined. This is 500 millibars, which is just way above our heads, and that includes the tropics. It'll move away from the Windward Islands, the Lesser Antilles. I mean, there could be something developing, located just off of the African coast on Friday night. Then by Saturday night, it'll get super strong, just northeast of Puerto Rico and just north the Lesser Antilles. And now I'm paying attention to this, folks. There is a trough located in the Hudson Bay. So is this going to bring the system upward, or is this going to keep the storm going westward? But there is a deep trough that could move. So as we move along up until Sunday night, it's going to keep on going strong. So this is way, way, way strong, folks, just as it approaches the Bahamas. And the trough is just moving just past the system. So this is not going to stop the storm from going west, folks. I mean, it'll go a little north, but it's just becoming more awful. Then we move on to next Monday night, and it's going to keep on moving. It's just past the trough, even if it's weak. Tuesday night, next Tuesday night, I mean, on the 19th. Yep, it's gonna move west, folks. It's gonna be, it's gonna be a major pain in the ass, for folks along the southeast coastline, all the way to the Outer Banks and the Bahamas too. And we move on to next Wednesday night. It's gonna get picked up. Yeah, so by next Wednesday night, it's going to get picked up because of this trough that's going to occur, just located over the Great Lakes region. So let me go back. Yeah, there is a dip, so it's going to go downwards, which does indicate that the system may go a little northward by next Wednesday night, but by next Thursday night, it'll definitely get picked up. It looks like it may be past the trough. But still, folks, this is bad. This is very bad. Way too close for comfort along the East Coast, folks. Gotta keep an eye on this. I think that's it, because the models are still running. We'll try the we'll try the European model right now. So for the European model, we start off with right here, just off the African coast. Then we see, as we move time around, so by tomorrow night, it'll still be a tropical storm. Then another 24 hours from now, it'll get stronger. I mean, because you got some favorable atmospheric conditions, as well as significantly higher, higher water temperature at least 80 degrees Fahrenheit, which does mean that it'll get stronger, but above 30 degrees Celsius, which is 86 degrees Fahrenheit, which means that it's going to get a lot stronger as it approaches the Caribbean Then we move on to Thursday night. It'll get stronger for sure, but by Friday night, there's another system behind it. As it could develop, just coming out of Africa. Then I see dips in the jet stream, just located in the Canadian Maritimes, and a ridge over there, and I see an upper level high. That's somewhat forming, but we'll see as we move time around by Saturday night. Yeah, it's still getting strong, folks, and another train of systems coming along. So it's gonna be a chugga 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 choo choo, a choo choo systems coming out of Africa. A wave of tropical systems coming out of Africa. It's known as the Atlantic Express. The Atlantic Hurricane Express, the Tropical Atlantic Express. Chugga 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 choo choo. Anyway, in all seriousness, folks, you best be preparing yourselves at a time like now, before it is too late, before there's going to be long lines, and then everyone starts panicking, and then everyone starts, soiling themselves and saying, "Oh no, I'm not prepared for this storm. Oh man, I should have prepared this earlier. Oh, I thought hurricanes were never going to hit a place like here in the New York City area, Boston, Canadian Maritimes." Well, folks, it's best to be prepared right now. No matter what happens, whether if the system's going to arrive somewhere along the East Coast or not, or in the Gulf, doesn't really matter. Prepare yourselves. So, let's see what we got for Sunday night. Yeah, by Sunday night, the system's going to get a lot stronger. There could be a dip in the jet stream, so it could get picked up. And we will see what happens. We move time around. By Monday night, yeah, it's going to get picked up. The system's still going to get stronger because of the stagnant atmospheric barometric swamp at 500 millibars. Then we see as we move on to Tuesday night of next week, and dip in the jet stream, and it looks like as though this system may be a little weak compared to the GFS model, but the wind field's starting to expand just a little bit. Then we move on. Okay, so there could be a dip in the jet stream coming from the upper Mississippi Valley, and from what it looks like, it may be moving downward slightly, but it's going to get picked up. And by next Wednesday night, the wind field starts spreading out, but it does indicate a little bit of a weaker storm, but it's still too early, folks. Yeah, it's going to move out to sea by next Thursday night. So adios, but for those of you... Okay, so moving on back to next Tuesday night. So there's a system behind it. And then Wednesday night of next week, system forms, tropical storm could happen. And then next Thursday night, another storm happens, gathered strength by next Friday night. And then by next Saturday night, it'll get stronger as it reaches over the southern part of the Bahamas, then goes through the Bahamas, and then ends up as a small system by next Sunday night, approaches the Florida Keys in South Florida. And, well, that's all I can say, folks. I mean, the system will move towards the Gulf by 2 weeks from now, and that's it. So let's compare to see what happens by next Wednesday night. It'll be off the Carolina coastline, and using the GFS model, it's going to be just near Florida, though. And then we see next Thursday night, it'll be over just next to the Outer Banks. Then by next Friday night, it'll hug along the coast. Whether if it's going to be... Yeah, it's just going to hug along the coastline, folks. Yeah, for the most part. Now it's time for yours truly. Oh my god. People are nuts. Let's tune into here. But let's just go here. Current storms, Erin. Yeah, the intensity guide does show that it has potential to become a major hurricane within the next 3 days, 3 to 4 to 5 days. And let's see what we got for water temperature. There we go. So look at this, folks. So basically what we have here, 82 degrees right here, 83. But then as it approaches, yeah, just as it passes by the Lesser Antilles and the Caribbean and through the just away from the Bahamas, water temperature is at 84 in the mid 80s, as you can see, which is more favorable for development. And barometric swamp at 500 millibars does equate to storm strengthening. So right now it may be early in the game, but it doesn't really mean that we can't rule out a potential development, potential landfall somewhere along the east coast of the United States. Okay. Now I can go behind the green screen, folks, just to show you guys what I can do. So let's give it a try. Okay. Sorry about that, folks. Welcome everyone to the tropical update, and as you can see, we do have Tropical Storm Erin that's currently located just coming out of Africa just about a few days ago. Right now, from what it looks like based on the shape of the cone, it's going to move to the east, and it'll take about a week just to reach our part of the world. But until then, it's all just too early in the game for everyone to suggest that Erin could make landfall somewhere right between Florida and Maine, or even in Canada, or as well as Cuba or the Bahamas. But in the meantime, what I can tell you is that I checked the comparisons and even contrasting between two global models, the American model, the GFS model, and the European model. And based on my analysis, all I can say is that both systems may move out to sea by middle to late next week. Move out But it's still too early in the game. But in the meantime, we'll just keep an eye on this. And also, more importantly, for those who live along the East Coast, from Key West all the way to the Canadian border, please do exercise caution. Do prepare yourself for the worst, because this could be your storm. I'm not saying that it's going to be your storm. I'm saying this may be. It just means that you might as well just go ahead and start buying all your hurricane preparedness items, things to prepare. So it's best to heed your local officials just to get an idea of what you can buy. Like, for example, like first aid, flashlights, generators, if you do own a home, or any residential units that can allow you to use a generator. Enough food to last for about a week or two. That includes each gallon of water per person per day. Alright guys, so sorry that it took me long for me to do this kind of thing. Alright, so anyway, I hope you guys prepare yourselves and stock up for any hurricane emergency supplies. Yeah, I may not sound so confident behind the camera, but it's best that I use a teleprompter in the near future. Oh man, where am I? Okay. Okay, so let's talk about the 3-day forecast. Let's get on with it right now. So let's see what we got. Okay, but first things first, I need to take care of something. Okay, now I managed to get something done, but right now... Oh yeah, and one more thing, I just want to show you guys this one. This is a new feature that I just realized that I can show you guys what the system looks like. So it does look like as though it's a healthy system for the most part. I mean, right now I'm just somebody who just is just learning more about hurricanes following my graduation. So what do we got? So we do have yeah, the barometric pressure is really low, like close to 1,001 millibars. And the wind speed is about sustained winds just up to 50 miles an hour. But I think it'll be best if I can go back, for a little bit, folks, for a little bit. Okay, back to the contiguous United States. Talk temperature. Let me prepare for this. Although we're not going to be able to play, although we are going to play Minecraft, but we're going to be a little late because I started streaming late. Now let me talk about this system first. So according to this, as of the 5 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time advisory, the second one, it does, okay, it's located at 17.4 degrees north, 30.3 degrees west. Its maximum sustained winds of 45 miles an hour. It's moving west at 21 miles an hour. And based on the projections, it does look like as though that it's going to be a tropical storm from now all the way to Wednesday night, and then transitions into a hurricane, and then it becomes a major hurricane by noon on Saturday. But even though this is just too early in the game, but this is what we're dealing with, folks. A real system, but this is just way too horrific to ignore. Okay, so now we can actually go back to here and let's talk about tomorrow's forecast. So where are the warm lows? Warm lows are located in South Florida, Maine, parts of Texas on the east side, all the way to Louisiana, eastern Oklahoma, and southern Arkansas, and southern Arizona. Where the chilly lows located in the Rockies. Tomorrow night, where the heat waves are located in the southeast, particularly in Florida and South Georgia, Texas, lower Mississippi Valley, especially parts of the Great Plains, much of the Great Basin, Desert Southwest, California, all the way up to the leeward side of the Cascades in Washington State. Where the warm lows are located throughout parts of the Desert Southwest, lower Mississippi Valley, Florida, all the way to the Carolinas, and even a little bit in parts of New England. Chilly lows are located in the Colorado Rockies and the Wyoming Rockies too, and just a little bit in northwestern Minnesota and northeastern North Dakota. Now, what about Wednesday night? Wednesday night, there's going to be plenty of heat throughout the southeast, lower Mississippi Valley, Texas, Great Plains, eastern Montana, much of California, leeward side of the Cascades, both Oregon and Washington, Great Basin, Desert Southwest. I don't know if I've already mentioned those, but still. Now, what about where are the warm lows? They're located in the southeast from Florida, and especially throughout eastern Texas and the lower Mississippi Valley. Chilly lows are located throughout parts of the Rockies and the Cascades. Oh, and there's also really chilly lows throughout the upper Mississippi Valley and northern half of the Great Lakes region. And finally, let's see what we got for heat waves. Where are they? The southern half of the United States, plus the central third of the country. Oh yeah, and the rest of the Great Basin. Let's go back to tomorrow morning where we're talking about dew point. Where the dew point, plenty of humidity throughout the south, east coast, Ohio Valley, Mississippi Valley, Great Lakes region, parts of the Great Plains, and even some parts of the West Coast, and even parts of the Desert Southwest. Where's the humidity? A lot of it is located in the eastern third of the country, the rest of the south, the rest of the Mississippi Valley, parts of the Great Plains, parts of the West Coast. Wednesday morning, where's the humidity? Humidity is located in the eastern third of the country, anywhere east of the Mississippi, plus the Great Plains, the rest of the south, parts of the West Coast, and even parts of the Desert Southwest. What about Wednesday night? Where's the humidity? East Coast, Ohio Valley, Mississippi Valley, parts of the Great Lakes region, rest of the South minus western Texas, much of the Great Plains, except for western part of the Great Plains. parts of the west coast, and a little bit in the desert southwest, but not much. What about Thursday morning? Thursday morning is going to be a lot of humidity throughout the East Coast, the South, Ohio Valley, southern half of the Great Lakes region, the Great Plains, parts of the desert Southwest. Finally, where's the humidity? Plenty of humidity in the south, except for western Texas, coastal part of the Northeast, the Great Plains, Mississippi Valley, parts of the Great Lakes region, Ohio Valley, and parts of the desert Southwest. Now let's talk about Cape. Where's the convection? Okay, so hold on a minute, folks. I'm getting some noise. Alright, I'm back. Now, let's see where the convection's located. Florida, the rest of the Gulf Coast, Southern Plains, even parts of Chicago and Milwaukee, even parts of the desert Southwest. Where's the convection for tomorrow night? A little bit in parts of the South, a lot of it in the lower Ohio Valley, mid-Mississippi Valley, plus Iowa. Some convection in the desert Southwest and parts of the West Coast, Cascades, and the Sierra Nevadas, actually, and even much of the East Coast. Going up north, and parts of the Great Lakes region, too. Wednesday morning, where's the convection? It's located throughout the southeast, parts of the Gulf Coast, a little bit in the Southern Plains, Ohio Valley, all the way to the interior part of the Northeast. So what about Wednesday night? There's going to be plenty of convection throughout the Gulf Coast, the southeast, especially parts of the Great Plains. Some in the Ohio Valley, all the way to parts of the Northeast. Now, what about Thursday morning? Plenty of convection throughout the Gulf Coast, parts of the Southeast. Some convection in the lower Mississippi Valley, Southern Plains. And finally, by Thursday night, there's going to be a lot of convection, a lot of updraft located in the Great Plains, the Dakotas, Southern Plains, especially the Gulf Coast and parts of the Southeast. Now let's talk about some storms. Where are the storms? Plenty of storms for tomorrow morning in parts of the South, Southern Plains, all the way to parts of the Great Lakes region. Stray clouds and showers throughout parts of the West Coast, and a few clouds, showers, and storms in the upper Mississippi Valley. And even some in a few showers and clouds in the interior parts of the Mid-Atlantic. What about tomorrow night? Plenty of storms to go around throughout the entirety of the South, the Mid-Atlantic, the Ohio Valley, Great Lakes region, lots of storms there. And even some in the desert Southwest and the Rockies, and even a few clouds and showers and a few storms in parts of the Great Basin, but not widespread though. Now, what about Wednesday morning? A lot of storms still lingering around throughout the South, the Mid-Atlantic, and more storms about to pop up throughout the interior parts of the Northeast. A few in the Dakotas and eastern Montana, all the way to the desert Southwest. We'll get a few clouds and showers there, plus the Mississippi Valley and the Great Lakes region, and even a few clouds and showers throughout parts of the West Coast. There's stray though. By Wednesday night, there's going to be a lot of storms. From places like the Desert Southwest going up to New England. Widespread, though. Lots of it. And even the desert and even the Great Basin will get lots of storms there. More storms, severe ones, in the Dakotas. And even a little bit of clouds and showers throughout parts of the Pacific Northwest. What about Thursday morning? Thursday morning, there's going to be clouds, showers, and storms throughout parts of the Mid-Atlantic, parts of the Southeast Carolinas, a few ones in the Southern Plains, lower Mississippi Valley, parts of the Gulf Coast, and especially throughout Minnesota. We'll get some storms going, and a few clouds and showers throughout parts of the Desert Southwest, parts of the Rockies, and even parts of the West Coast. Finally, by Thursday night, there's going to be a lot of storms throughout parts of the Southeast, going up until New York, and even more in the Desert Southwest, Great Basin, Rockies, and even parts of the Pacific Northwest too, and even the upper Mississippi Valley. All right, folks. So now that we're done with this, we'll just mention a little bit more about the tropics a little later on. We get more advisories if there is any. Now, but in the meantime, let's just transition to Okay, now that I got this fixed, so sorry about that, folks. I failed to check, on some things on the mixer before I even get to this scene. Okay, so now let's get back to work. Well, like I said, for those of you just tuning in, I'm so sorry for being a little late and also for screwing up the streams, but yeah, it's just that having to come home from work, yada yada yada. It's quite annoying, but right now I'm doing okay, you know. I mean, I've done the green screen part for the tropical update, but no chance that I'll be able to do that again for the weather topic of the day, unless if I have a teleprompter. Let's see, well, for those of you who weren't around for the tropical update, here it is. So, what happens is that I compared the European and the American models, the GFS model, and it turns out that both of them may look like as though they may be moving out to sea. But right now, like I said, it's still early in the game, and it's just that everyone's so hyping about this tropical system named Erin. But right now, like I said, it's still too early in the game. But even so, it's best that anyone who is frightened about the next system, it's best to prepare yourselves. So whether this system's going to arrive in your area or not, because you never know. Well, right now we are at Southwest 10th Avenue. We only have about 4.5 miles to go, and each step is a half mile. Yeah, I had my fair share of hurricanes, actually, even though it was not a hurricane, it was Sandy. I mean, it was a hurricane that morphed into a superstorm, and it became a little more extratropical, meaning that it is not considered a true tropical system. But yet I did, but yet everyone survived. Everyone I knew survived, actually. Oh yeah, I forgot to think about the weather topic of the day for today. But we'll get to that. We will get to that. But I suppose that we can do the one about the European model. We've done for the GFS. We're actually going to be playing, I'm just going to give myself 5 extra minutes, actually. Because I streamed late. 5 or 10 minutes, actually. Step up and say that da 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 da. I don't know why. I thought it was funny. But yeah, there's gonna be a wet weather event on Wednesday. Maybe some storms in the greater New York City area. But you know what? I guess maybe I can try again the whole tropical update for those who are not here, and also gives me a good excuse for me to perfect and just come up with something. Not make that 5 minutes, not 10 minutes. Or maybe I can end, the gaming part at 8 o'clock, and then I'll perfect the tropical update. So, what's gonna happen for me this week? Well, it's nothing out of the ordinary, and I'm going to a convention this weekend, so that should be exciting, hopefully. And by next week, nothing much going on. Well, so it'll be the 18th to the 22nd. Then, a week after that, I got a visitor, which will happen on that Thursday, on the Thursday of that week, in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from this Thursday in the evening. So there's no guarantee that I'll be streaming that time. else am I gonna do? Well, I got Labor Day off, which is good, but highly doubtful that I'll be streaming on that day, because I gotta take a visitor back to the airport. Whew. Yeah. What am I gonna do next month? Well, oh yeah, also, I'm thinking about starting, a stream of Bayern Munich. Man. Alright, I think we were reaching the end of the western half, and we move on to the east. Actually, I gotta go through here. Yep, we're at Southwest 10th Avenue. Just gonna cross to here. Wait a second, hold on a minute. I think I missed something. Nope, I did not miss anything. I thought I did, but I didn't. Now we're heading eastward, folks. So it's 7:31 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Hope you guys having a good day, or hoping you guys have better days ahead. Anyway, this is episode 60 of Mushroom City Minecraft. How you guys doing? Welcome, welcome. This is Marlon here, and right now we are about to enter through the eastern half of the city, and we are now, and we're going to continue on with this as soon as we reach the edge of downtown. Sorry about that. Quite rude of me. Alright, start off with here. There we go. Whew. Yep. Alright, so now let's keep on cloning. There we go. The sun is setting in the city right now. Do any of you guys have plans this weekend? Yeah, for me, I mean, I already told you guys. You know what? I just realized that there is a street. When I was watching King of the Hill, I realized the residential urban planning layout. That's um, hold on. That's a thing. Damn. That's actually a thing where there is an official street just located in front of the house. And then behind the house, there's actually another street, but it's actually an alleyway. And what I realized is that the alleyway is much wider in King of the Hill than in real life. Hold on a minute. There we go. Let me take a quick sip, folks. Hold on a minute. Let me turn on the light. Alright, I'm back. Yeah, I'm thinking about going somewhere just before Thanksgiving, like right around late September, early October, but not too far away though. I'm thinking about some place that I want to spend the weekend with certain someone, or pretty much myself, just to have fun, Life is short, but you gotta have fun. That's what I gotta do. Find the type of fun I can afford. Just to make my life worthwhile. Sun is about to rise in the city. Yeah, we're not there yet, the East End. People are nuts. Some people are nuts out there. Psh, crash. Then everyone dies. Just kidding. I hope no one does. Or gets hurt. You know what I mean? It's not really funny if it's like, truly, people getting hurt or killed. Or misfortunes ever happening, but you know what I mean. Still not there. Still not there. Still not there, folks. Still not there. Yeah, I believe we are at the south end of the airport. Well, almost at the south end of the airport. Yep, we're approaching the east end of the city, folks. Yeah, we are getting there. We are getting there. Okay, we're moving on to this part, folks. Okay. Alright. Now let's go to the west end. Start right here at you have South 15th Avenue. Only 10 more minutes. I know 15 minutes, but tropical update, you know, it's something that I gotta look into. Okay, right through here. Still through downtown. Oh yeah, and by the way, this is the boundary line of between. Yeah, this is actually the south end of downtown. Which means you only have about 4 miles after this. It's only 4 miles left. Back there was 4.5. Now it's 4 miles left. An estimate of episode 75 or 76, so we'll get this done. Probably up until Labor Day. Alright, now we are approaching the west end. Alright. We'll only spend like additional 6 minutes. Yeah, we'll spend 6. So we only got 6 minutes left. And yeah, in the remainder part of the time, we're gonna focus on Southwest 15th Avenue until wherever we're gonna leave off. Maybe we'll get to do a tropical update. The sun is setting in the city. Oh, I thought it was raining for a second inside the game. We're not there yet, though. Oh, I thought I heard something, but turns out there's nothing. There is nothing, folks. There is nothing. Nada! Yeah. Oh, let me see. Oh, my leg. Ugh. Damn. Okay. Alright, let's finish this one, and then we're gonna switch to the weather topic of the day, or the tropical update if there's any changes to the advisory by the National Hurricane Center. Alright, let's just leave it there and continue with this probably either Wednesday if I don't have anything to do on Wednesday. Otherwise, I'll see you guys on Friday. Alright, now let's switch gears to here right about now. And also, I gotta see any tropical update. Let me just refresh the page for a little bit. No, there's not much going on, but you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and just do it anyway. Because, you know, why not, right? Why not? Why not? Okay. Okay, testing. As of today at 8:02 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, we do have Tropical Storm Erin that's currently located just east of the Lesser Antilles and just coming out of Africa just about a few days ago. And from what it looks like as though that it's going to move toward the east. And based on my analysis, comparing and contrasting models, the European model and the American model, which happens to be the GFS model, they indicate that the storms or Tropical Storm Erin, which is going to be a hurricane in the next few days, as you can see based on cone of uncertainty, that it could be a strong major hurricane. And from what it looks like, Erin is going to end up moving up the coast, and out it goes. Out it goes. So I repeat, Tropical Storm Erin is currently located just west of Africa, and it looks like as though that is going to the west. Yet, based on the analysis that I've done, comparing and contrasting both the American model, which happens to be the GFS model, and the European model, they both indicate that Erin would end up moving up the East Coast, and out it'll go. Out to sea, then we all gone. But that's still way early in the game. But we have a lot of time, and things could change overnight. But one thing's for certain is that this system does have potential to become a hurricane, and even a major hurricane in the next few days, up to 7 days. But it's best to prepare yourselves, even if you're going to be in the danger zone or not. It's best to prepare yourself for the worst. So better to stock up for supplies to survive for 1 or 2 weeks in terms of emergency kits, food and water and everything else that you need in order to either evacuate based on where you live or hunker down, just as long as you're not in a flooded area or would about to be a flooded area. Alright guys, I know it took me longer for me to complete this, but anyway, let's just wrap this up and do the weather topic of the day. So let's go back. Hold on a minute, folks. Here, and this time we're actually going to go back to the forecast models, upper level winds, and bring up this here. There we go. Okay, so here we go. Oh, man. Yeah, I think I dropped something, folks. Hold on a minute. Okay, so here it goes. What is the European model? The European model generally refers to the European Center for Medium Range Weather Forecasts, or ECMWF's Integrated Forecasting System, or IFS, a global numerical weather prediction system. It's a comprehensive system that uses a vast amount of data to create detailed forecasts, particularly known for its reliability and accuracy, especially in medium range forecasts up to 10 days. Well, folks, that took a lot of time, but in the end, it was all worth it. So when will I see you guys? Well, oh man, it looks like the mouse is broken. Okay, so we're going to wrap this up right now, but in the meantime, hold on a minute, folks. Hold on. Just got to get something quick. Okay. Okay, anyway, I hope yeah, it's no good. Both, wow. Okay. Okay, it looks like I'm out of mouses right now that are functioning. Okay. I just hope, okay, I see, I got one. Okay, now, let's go back. Anyway, I'll see you guys. Oh boy, yeah, looks like this is not a good look for me. I'm gonna have to try this again now. Oh wait, I already did. Okay, that's good. That's good. But I'd be happy to repeat that. So, even though I gotta go to the bathroom. So, what is the European model? The European model generally refers to the European Center for Marine. Sorry about that. Man, I gotta go to the bathroom. The European weather model generally refers to the European Center for Medium Range Weather Forecasts, or ECMWFS's Integrated Forecasting System, or the IFS, a global numerical weather prediction system. It's a comprehensive system that uses a vast amount of data to create detailed weather forecasts, particularly known for its reliability and accuracy, especially in medium range forecasts up to 10 days. Alright guys, now this is it. Okay, I'll see you guys probably either Wednesday at 6 to 8 p.m. or Friday, because there's a chance that I'm going to be out of, after work, I got somewhere to go, but there could be a surprise stream for Tuesday or Thursday, depends, but can't really guarantee on that. Alright, thank you guys for watching. Hit me with a follow and turn on the notifications so that you guys will know when I'll be streaming the next time. Alright, thank you guys for watching. Stay safe out there. Take care of many of people out there and yourselves. Peace out, everybody. Love you all. Signing out.